You guys are still semi-new to Detroit. I know you guys been on the road for, about 2 years now, on and off.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest shock that you guys didn't expect or that you didn't expect?
I mean, it's all been totally shocking and unexpected. Yeah, I guess some of the most shocking things have been... Yeah, I'm trying to think back to, our first tour, because that's when all of the shock was hitting us, and we didn't even really start processing it until months later. But the first major shock was probably when we would play some of our original songs, instrumental songs, and the whole crowd, like in Europe, people that we would have never encountered in person who just heard us online. These entire crowds of hundreds of people would be singing our songs, like the instrumental songs, not even singing the word, just like la, 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 and so that was crazy when we first experienced that.
Oh yeah.
And then just the idea that people around the world are really into our music. And that was even before the touring actually started, but when we started getting messages from people across the world,
Oh yeah.
And seeing bands, young kids or, full-grown adults, even older adults, with these local community brass bands or kids starting their own bands, around the world. We've seen videos of people playing our songs and also their own renditions of covers or even their own original stuff, kind of in our style. Videos from the mountains in the Philippines or from Japan or country of Italy, rural kind of farming villages in Italy and stuff like that, So and throughout Latin America as well. It's just crazy to get this kind of reception and to try to wrap our heads around that kind of reach, because this is such a new thing also to be able to reach people with music.
Yeah.
So it's we're kind of experiencing it for the first time in history as a collective people, and we're lucky enough to actually be able to experience it for ourselves, So that's really cool.
No, and I totally understand that with, what I'm able to do as a writer and the fact that I can pull this thing out and have instantaneous impact, whereas, 30 years ago, you faxed your story and you waited on the editors, it got printed, a month later you'd hear feedback. And now it's, same thing, you guys, a fan can post a video you playing tonight that, can get shared with 1 million people in a matter of hours. So, now, let me ask you, why the horns? Be honest, was it the sax player from the Lost Boys?
My history with the saxophone was kind of... so I started with clarinet when I was 9 years old in band, and I actually wanted to play trombone originally. So everyone had to choose an instrument, which is great, elementary school, public school system in New York. It used to have a much stronger presence of, music as a required part of the curriculum. You're seeing that less and less now, unfortunately. But we're hoping to, encourage from the bottom up, the excitement in young people that will then encourage administrators and community school boards to lobby for more funding for that and stuff like that. But anyway, so I was lucky enough to still be in school at a time where that was still a thing. And so my uncle had given me a clarinet when I was 5. And so even though I wanted to play trombone, my mom was like, hey, you have a clarinet, you should play it. So I picked up the clarinet, and then saxophone was because my jazz band director in high school wouldn't let me in the jazz band if I only played clarinet. He said I had to pick up saxophone as well, because usually that's the saxophone and clarinet is a common double in the one section of a jazz band. So I started playing saxophone then, and I really got serious about it. Funny enough was through playing in a ska band that I pretty much started, some of my friends from the neighborhood had this band together, and I started playing with them kind of early on in the history of the band, I guess. But they already had a little thing going, and then when I joined with the saxophone, it became a full-blown silly ska band called the Planeteers.
Very cool.
So ska was the early inspiration in ska and jazz.
Very cool. All right. Barry White or Al Green? Who do you pick?
Huh. I don't know. It's a tough one. I've never had to think about this. Usually, it's questions about like John Coltrane or Sonny Rollins.
Oh, you
so I feel like I don't have a strong opinion, as strong of an opinion about vocalists. I don't know. I guess Barry White.
I'll give you.
I don't know.
No.
I guess that's
I appreciate the fact that you had to put that much thought into it because yes, it is a tough question. Most people wouldn't.
I feel like it depends on what you're in the mood for. And right now, I happen to be in the mood for some Barry White.
Fair enough. All right, what is your go-to gas station snack?
Mixed nuts.
Okay.
Preferably almond heavy mixed nuts, and if I can't find that, I'll just go straight almonds, unsalted, roasted.
All right. Who has the best coffee, and how do you take yours?
My favorite coffee in the world, and this is kind of silly, but don't hate me. I know I'm in Seattle, and this might be frowned upon, but
I'm not judging you.
when we go on tour in Europe, some venues have these espresso machines, and you push a button, and it pours out delicious espresso-based drink. Usually I'll get like a cappuccino or a latte, and the milk is just like the perfect amount of sweetness, and I just love them, and it's like a delicious treat, and it's what I look forward to. One of the main things I look forward to in the
It's
green
not
rooms.
the painting or the history, it's the coffee machines.
Yes.
Very cool. All right. Very inappropriate question, but of course this is where I am. Are the chicks in band camp really that freaky?
I never went to band camp.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Hey.
So I couldn't say, but I've heard the same stories from movies like American Pie, and if it's anything like reality, I would say.
I was too busy skipping school to be part of the band, so I was hanging out with the Misfits in the Smokers Lounge. Originally, I thought that this interview was going to be actually on Thursday while you were in town for Top City, so it was National Margarita Day.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, do you have a margarita recipe you'd like to share with the readers?
I'm actually not much of a drinker, so.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so what was the first song that you heard as a kid that kind of made you lose your mind?
Wow. That's a heavy one. I would say, even though I don't remember it, my parents brought me to a wedding when I was 2 years old, and the band that was playing at the wedding was the Sun Ra Orchestra. And so I think that being exposed to the music of the Sun Ra Orchestra when I was 2 years old is probably responsible for most of the decisions I've made in my life musically. So I would say, I don't know a specific song that was played at that particular wedding, but the sound is kind of across all of their songs. And I think that probably was the most mind-blowing experience I've had in my life.
That is probably one of the coolest answers I've ever had in an interview I've done. So on that note, what artist would you like to jam with?
Living or
Any artist, living, dead, your choice.
if I could even just be in the presence of John Coltrane, late Coltrane, Love Supreme or later, or even 1961 with Eric Dolphy, any of those years would be amazing. But yeah, if I could, I wouldn't even have to play. I could just be there listening, because that's as deep as playing when the music is on that level. So that would be my choice.
Very cool. All right, so final question. Other than getting to hang out with me, what's been the coolest part of the tour?
Well, yeah, that's just a high bar. Oh.
Very self-deprecating, you haven't noticed.
No, I like it in the same way. So we're early in the tour, and I'm sure I'll have some amazing experiences. We're going to California, and getting out of the New York City winter to be on the sunny West Coast, Southern California, for example.
Which I'm sure the shows are going to be packed.
I hope so.
They will be. That's what we're doing this for.
But so far, my 2 days in Vancouver, I took a walk up to the Stanley Park, or I guess it's not the Stanley, I guess it's just Stanley Park, and it was so beautiful. It was like wilderness, and the view was amazing, like snow-covered mountains just on your right across the water, and I'm like big nature person, so yeah, so that was like the perfect way to start a tour. And it was sunny, nice and cold, brisk. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Very cool. Well, that just about wraps it up. Will you tell the audience where you guys are going to be, dates, all that fun stuff, so that they can find you? Of course, I'm posting all this as well too. So, but anybody you want to shout out to, or any final words you want to give the readers?
Yeah, totally. So we're going to be at Chop Suey in Seattle on the 22nd of this great month of February. So check us out with a bunch of chops. Thank you, everybody.
Very cool. Much appreciated.